And good morning. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. We are so thankful you chose to listen to us this morning. Maybe you didn't choose to listen to us. We just so happen to pop onto your radio station, or we are on the DAZN app worldwide. Shout out to the DAZN employees, by the way, in New York City. We got a chance to see The Office for the first time yesterday, One World Trade. Every employee they have, which I think is about 400, 500 of them, are forced to watch the show every day. So I apologize for that. And anybody else who's being forced to listen, I apologize, but I think we got a good one for you today. We got Terrell Davis back on the line. He was supposed to call yesterday, miscommunication. He thought we were supposed to call him. His rep clearly told us that he would call us, so there was a little bit of a miscommunication, mostly on his rep's part. I'll ask him if he'll fire that rep. Darius Leonard, the man who called game, check ball game against the Houston Texans with an interception to seal that thing, and then a devastating stiff arm to Kenny Stills, planting him through Mother Earth. After the play was dead. He should have been All-Pro, Pro Bowl, Defensive Rookie of the Year by everybody last year. Instead, Van Der Esch was, who's a hell of a football player. But this guy, they call him the Maniac. He came out of nowhere. And I think he's going to be a pretty entertaining listen. We shall see. Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Well, that's tough, man. Monday Night Football could have looked out for him, by the way. They mic up a lot of people, and they hear a lot of things, and they have to filter through a lot of things. And normally it's just like, let's go! Nice catch, man. I'm sure there was a lot of that from Sam Darnold, especially last night. But they decided to let the old I'm seeing ghost things fly, which, by the way, thankful for them. Great for content, great for us. Sucks for Sam Darnold. And I would assume this happens to a lot of young quarterbacks, especially whenever you're going against Bill Belichick's defense. And I think what he meant by seeing ghosts is he thought he was seeing one coverage, or he thought he was seeing one thing, and then all of a sudden it was just a completely different operation. But boy, the way he describes that makes him sound like he's scared to death of that Patriots team, and I would be too, unless I was the Indianapolis Colts. It looks like those two are on a collision course in the AFC. I cannot wait for that to happen. The Patriots are so dominant. I didn't bring out the good old hammer yesterday on the Patriots, but I did say bet the Patriots.
You did.
Speaking of today, FanDuel goes live in Indiana starting at noon. I'm going to be boosting odds over there. I am so excited. It's going to be the best odds on earth on FanDuel. We're starting off with a 25-1 odds for the Colts to make the playoffs. Only available FanDuel.com/McAfee starting at noon. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful Tuesday, October 22nd. Things are only getting started. Speaking of getting started, today we'll start the same way we start every other day. Evan Foxy, who created an incredible vlog documentary, which is live now on our YouTube page. Great job on that.
Thank you, sir. YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show.
Now, I'll tell you about the way Foxy has to edit these things, though. So we travel a lot, and a lot of conversation and chatter happens while we're traveling. Foxy doesn't get to talk to anybody. Foxy looks like he's on the social network where they're coding, and he's like over in a corner. He's got his headphones on. He's just staring into the depths of his computer. That's what Foxy does all week. I think he does an incredible job. This vlog was awesome. We were in San Francisco, New York City twice. Jeremy Piven, Corey Graves, some mimes, some behind-the-scenes antics. Things were good. We appreciate you, Foxy. And I would also appreciate if you would play some Chase Rice.
It's the perfect occasion for a little vacation from the heart of the nation. Audio meditation, 2 hours of magic, let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Yes, it is Chase Rice, and we are back home in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana! I slept in my bed last night. It was awesome. I tell you what, I'm missing that thing. I'm missing that bed whenever we're on the road, especially whenever you just happen upon a hotel that has the worst pillows in the history of the world, which I think we are staying at every single week in every single city. I'm not sure how it's happening, but it's great to be back home in this beautiful studio. I'm joined by our entire cast here. At Todd McComas is sitting on a casting couch. Todd, how's it going?
Great. By the way, this is the most comfortable couch ever made.
I've heard that.
I don't know where they got it. It's almost too comfortable.
Last week, Jeremy Piven was on the show. Ari from Entourage, who's now doing stand-up comedy around the country, he was in Indianapolis. He sat on that couch, and afterwards he sent me a message thanking us for having him on and hospitality. He went after Zito for his graphics. He said, I'm not an agent, I'm an actor. I was like, that's part of a thing. And then he said, by the way, great couch. It was like a little tag on that the couch was great. So great to have you. Todd will be answering phones in the second hour there. 1-833-622-3331. We'll be chit-chatting about a lot of things today. At Nick Morodo, hockey's happening.
It is happening. Ready, raring to go. You've been sleeping on it. That's fine. Its time will come. Football season in full bloom.
Has any games happened yet?
Yeah, a lot of games.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That's what people are saying.
Someone got knocked out last night, right?
Surprise of the year.
Is that real right now? You're saying that the NHL is in full bloom right now?
Oh, we're going.
How are we doing? Penguins doing?
Penguins are great right now. A lot of injuries, but they're winning.
Hey, if you're listening, watching this show, and you don't have a hockey team, just go ahead now and sign up to a Penguins fan.
That's good advice.
Come on board.
Because when hockey season starts, which is the playoffs, which is I think in like 5-6 months from now, is that right?
Yeah.
That's when we'll really start mattering, and at least we'll have a little bit of care going in. So then you can say, like, yo, I was a fan at the beginning of the season. It's not just now in the playoffs, which I get blamed for every single year. I've been a fan since I was a kid. Tough to watch in Indianapolis because it's never on television. So when the playoffs happen, it's national TV. I go back to my glory days being a diehard Pens fan. If you're listening, don't have a hockey team, congratulations, you have a team. We'll be in this together. Probably going to bet on it pretty heavily on FanDuel here whenever it starts. At Degenerate Diggs is here. What's up, dude?
Christmas Day, man. It's Christmas Day. I can now legally bet on my phone without having to withdraw money from like Uzbekistan.
Every time you got a check from like Uzbekistan, it was always a hilarious
Well, then
thing.
it's like you take it to the bank and they're like, what is that?
You're
This can't be real.
Italian.
I'm like, don't worry, just take it. They see the O at the end of my name. They're like, this isn't real.
Sometimes my bank won't even let Sam deposit a check for me. That's a real problem I'm having with my bank, by the way. Sam will get a check to the house, and I'm never home. So I'm always, Sam, like, will run and do that for me. And the bank's like, what account number? She's like, I don't have the account number. Just put it in his account. You know who it is. You know me. I'm literally here. And they're like, I can't do it. And I had to give them a call and tell them, like, hey, if there's any checks coming to me from whoever, I would like it to be known. I don't know what I got to sign or what I got to say. Let those checks go into my bank account. I don't know what I got to say. But I couldn't even fathom if Sam would have shown up with a check from Uzbekistan. That would have been a magical moment.
It's a good day.
Hey, good for you, Diggs.
Yeah, good for all of us.
And with what FanDuel's going to allow us to do with these boosted odds thing.
Oh, my.
And listen, I don't like patting myself on the back too much. I've accomplished a lot. I've won a lot of things. I have failed miserably a lot, but I've done a lot of good. I am on a heater right now.
You are.
When it comes to picking games. And listen, it's not like I'm going to talk about it and that's going to jinx. I am just digesting so much football at the moment. It's coming at me in all angles. I'm in coaches meetings for college football, learning even more about football than whenever I was front row at an NFL team for 8 years. Like literally front row in team meetings and everything. Not doing much. Not much for me to do. I mean, I'm just punting balls. Not much for me to do. But boy, I'm just watching. And then I'm sitting next to Vinatieri, who's been around for 20 years. He's breaking down. I feel like right now my football IQ is at a very all-time high, and I think this heater I'm on is going to continue. And when this hammer comes out, we might call them hammered odds, by the way. Ooh. Dump that so nobody takes it. So we'll call it hammered odds. When this thing comes out, we're going to be in a good spot, and FanDuel's going to let us boost odds for stuff, which for those of you that don't know what it means, who've never bet before, that basically means we're going to be getting more for our money for our bets than everybody else will because we're boosting the odds on the bets.
I like watching you grow as a gambler. Because last year was pretty much your first year, like full-time gambling.
True.
And you were just like, oh, this team's much, much better. Let's just hammer them. But now you're actually like looking at where like the money is and stuff like that. And I think it's really helping you out.
I always go, Diggs, where's the public at on this game? And if it matches where I'm at, you literally hear me always go, damn!
Well, you also have an innate ability to check the barometer for the emotional advantage of a team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I love when you pick that way.
Hey, that's
You're
the
like,
X
no, this
factor.
team's feeling it right now. That guy's feeling it.
That's the X factor, by the way.
It is. It's
And
the difference.
that is the X factor that nobody talks about. Just as somebody who's got a chance to watch a lot of athletes do a lot of things. Whenever you see an athlete who operates with like a chip on their shoulder, and then for some reason that week they have an even bigger chip on their shoulder, it's like, oh, I have faith that this guy is going to dominate today. And it's just one of those things that it might be a weird. I mean, I like Dr. Phil. You know, like I like watching Dr. Phil. I liked watching that Bull movie or Bull show. I liked watching that Bull. I enjoy the psychology of things. Like I enjoy wondering why people, because there's a lot of people who have the ability to be incredible, but it all ends up in between the ears. Like I'm sure there's people somewhere on earth that could have kicked the ball as hard as I could back in the day. But for some reason, and I don't know why, I just got a chance to get consistent with it and do well. And that's all in between the ears. So whenever you see like somebody be incredible one week, like Sam Darnold bounce back against the Dallas Cowboys after mono, and then a week later literally be on TV saying, I'm seeing ghosts. I mean, that's in between the ears, and that's what I like to bet on. That's what I like to. A lot of people talk about the X's and O's. I'm here for Jimmy's and Joe's. Okay? That's what I'm here for. And that's, so far, it's worked for me.
It is.
I'm not good at, what I learned last year, my first year of gambling, is I'm not good at what I'm not good at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not good at what I'm not good at. You know? Situations are situational. And the thing about betting on college basketball for me is I know nothing about it. I know absolutely nothing about it. So if you hear me start talking about stuff like that, just go ahead and let that. But if it seems like it's something I know about, let's go ahead and let's boost those odds and let's get going. Nobody's going to be perfect. I mean, the best gamblers on earth aren't perfect, but I feel like I'm going to hit a real good hot streak right now, and I'm thankful we're coming live on Indiana. At Ty Schmidt is here, rocking his FanDuel hat, ready to go. He's also excited, I assume. I assume a Packers futures bet is getting hammered immediately upon arrival.
Yeah, without a doubt. Diggs did a very good job of explaining everything. I couldn't be more excited either. It is nice to know that you don't have to go through all these third-party accounts, not worried about if you're ever actually going to get paid. We got a nice, reliable backer now. It's awesome.
Okay, and for you, and I'm going to tell you what. We got done recording the podcast last night with AQ Shipley and Piven, and we left. I left after the first drive for the Patriots. I got home. It was 17-0.
16 play first drivers.
Bro, it's a 15-minute drive from here to home. So if you include like TV timeouts and stuff in the game, that might have been 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
What the hell happened? It was 17. I get home. I'm like, what's it looking like in the game? And Sam hates the Patriots because Sam grew up diehard Colts fan for a long time. I mean, it was just the way it goes. And I think every human who grows up in any other NFL city outside of New England probably hates New England because anything that's at the top of the mountain for that long is going to get stared upon until the neck's hurt and everybody goes, I hate that guy. I hate that team up there. Happened to the Lakers, happened to the Yankees, now it's happening to the Patriots. It's just the way it goes. I enjoy watching people who are really good at things do that and continue to do that. So as soon as I get home, Sam goes, the Patriots are up 17-0. I was like, what'd you say? She said 17-0. I'm like, oh my God. And then we had the TV on. I started watching. I was like, this Patriots team, that defense, just like what I said with Green Bay. I said the last time Aaron Rodgers was gifted a top 10 defense in 2010, they won a Super Bowl. Because it's so much help to know that if you're having an off day, if your offense isn't clicking immediately, you're not going to be behind by 14 where you're just playing catch up the entire day. Whenever you have a nice complementary defense to an incredible offensive juggernaut that's going to figure it out, what a weapon that is. That's why I like the Colts this year. That's why I like the Packers this year. And boy, the Super Bowl is on Groundhog Day. Punxsutawney Phil, I don't know what the hell he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to see his shadow like for the 50th year in a row and go right back in the hole. I don't know if it's a shadow or if it's the 7,000 drunks staring at him. He goes back in the hole. But I do know for that little bit of time that he's out there, he's going to ask his little handler guy that he's friends with. Phil's going to be like, who's in the Super Bowl? He's going to be like, Patriots. He's going to be like, again? And he's going to turn around and go right back into that damn hole. That's just the way it is, man. That's what it feels like whenever you watch that Patriot team. It's like they're never going to stop. They're up 24-0. 24-zip. And Belichick had them huddled in the corner, and you see them point that one way. And NFL Films had the microphone in that huddle, so I'll be excited to see if we ever get to hear that whenever they do another Do Your Job 7 or whatever it is. But you see him point at the other team. I would like to know if he was actually saying, listen, that football team stinks, okay? But we're in preseason still. Nothing matters until after Thanksgiving. He's been on the record saying that. We have to start working different things. We have to get better. It doesn't matter how bad they are. We have to continue to dominate here. I don't give a single damn. And then the team goes, break. He walks out. And then the Jets are just standing over there seeing ghosts about to just grumpy all over themselves. I honestly think that is what he was saying in that huddle. Up 24-zip. why he'll be the greatest. He is the greatest coach of all time. I understand people hate him, but the fact that the delay of game where he just outsmarted Adam Gase. What, Adam Gase? You're down 700 points, dude. You don't want to back it up because it helps the punter? Like, what do you think? You just watched this dude down the ball inside the 5 twice. Like, he's an NFL punter, man. What? Well, we don't give him any extra yardage. It's like, way to go, dude. Way to go. And then the clock continues to run, then a false start. We had a plan. We actually thought about this. And the question was asked, I don't know if it was me on vitamins or somebody who was like, can we not just take a false start and just back it up, run down the thing, back it up? If we're already up 40 and a punt doesn't matter, why can't you do that? So these are things that are all thought about, but it's just what Bill Belichick executes. And Bill Belichick came out and was like, well, yeah, honestly, it's a loophole in the rule, and they're going to have to fix it at some point. But it's not my fault that that's how they wrote the rule. And that's why some people who aren't really like the most competitive humans or athletes or just fans, they see that and they're like, oh, he's cheating. It's like, yeah, but he's not. He's just taking advantage of a situation that's been sitting there that everybody else kind of wishes they would have, just like he used to do with big guys on the end of this line of scrimmage, just like he used to do with all these things. They just seem to have all systems go on figuring out how to dominate football at all times. Up 24-0, rallying the troops. They're already incredible. Let's figure out another rule that we can get around and work with. And it's just like the NFL has to be sitting up there like, damn, will you guys relax? We'll add an asterisk to the damn rule so you guys can't do this. But is there any way? And they won't. And I think in my eyes, I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy that a lot. Like, if we're playing rummy and I hit down faster than you, those are my points. It's not my fault that you were slower than me. Like, that is just how I enjoy that type of gamesmanship, I think, because of how competitive of a human I am. But I enjoy watching the Patriots operate. And I'm happy for Phil Dorsett, by the way. Phil Dorsett was a first-round draft pick for the Indianapolis Colts. They literally cut Josh Cribbs the next day after the draft, saying this kid's going to be our returner, basically. He's going to be like an explosive guy for us because we already had T.Y. So you bring in Phil Dorsett, kind of the same player. So a lot of questions, like everybody's like, well, that's not really what we need. Maybe an offensive line, by the way. Maybe. Maybe we can get a guy. Maybe we get that. So there's a lot of questions when he came in from the fans and from within the locker room. It was like, come on, man. Like, let's at least try to get going. Then I meet Phil, and he was not supposed to be a punt returner. Kid couldn't catch a punt really early in his career. I don't know about now. It's just an acquired skill. You either have it or you don't. But Phil is a super nice guy, incredibly hard worker, and in practice, he used to just moss folks. He used to make these incredible catches. It was awesome to watch, and I would always, like, hey, Phil, hell of a practice today. He was like, thanks, and then we get to game day, wouldn't get him the ball. So they trade him up to New England. And the first day he got traded, I said, if Phil Dorsett can do anything that he does on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in practice with the Patriots, he's going to be incredible. He's finding his confidence, and he's finding a real role in that offense. Tom Brady is going to love him. I think he runs a 4.2 or something, a 4.3 as well. He is just a freak, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Patriots that they look so damn good again. I mean, their fans are already telling us how happy they are about it. But, boy, it's tough not to be impressed whenever you see great teams continue to get better. It's tough not to.
Go ahead.
And I was gonna say with the delay of game and the false start thing, Gase thought like he was getting one over on Belichick, and Belichick's just standing on the other sideline like smiling like you're an idiot.
You think this punter that we traded up for to draft, who, by the way, who cares if you get the ball at the 4 or the 20 at this point? Bill Belichick's just sitting over there with his, just looking across at him. He's like, decline the penalty. We don't want him back up. Give him more room. And Bill Belichick's like, man, this might be the easiest division in football. This is what we got to go against. Greeny was not happy with Gase this morning.
Call him for his head.
He did. He said the guy in Arizona last year, one and done. Feels like Gase could be a one and done guy here in New York. He's a big-time Jets fan. He said whenever he heard Sam Darnold say, I'm seeing ghosts on the broadcast, he directly went to the kitchen and opened a bottle of scotch. Think about Greeny, this sophisticated Hall of Fame analyst, journalist, everything. Just got done talking to Adam Silver earlier in the day. Sits down, all right, Sam Darnold looked pretty good after mono last week. At least we got a little bit of a chance here against the Patriots. And then by the time I got home, it was 17-0. And then the seeing ghost was shortly thereafter. He's like, well, we suck again. odds. 10:20 here on this opening hour of Tuesday, October 22nd. Patriots are so impressive. I wonder what the odds are on that on FanDuel.
For what?
Are the Patriots impressive or not?
Even money.
Yes. Unbelievable. Will Patty Mahomes be able to play? Will the AFC just be the Patriots and the Colts? Will Lamar Jackson be able to survive his explosivity style of play for the Ravens? We got a good one shaping up here this NFL season, the 100th year of the NFL. 10:21, Tuesday, October 22nd. I have no idea what we're going to talk about on the other side. Carl Davis should be here soon, though. What time?
10:40, I think.
Oh, they got Sanu.
Oh, my God. Stop the music. How's that happen? How does a day after a route like that? Did they ship that in yesterday and then it took 24 hours? Or did Goodell be like, I don't know when to announce this. Did they ship that this morning?
Probably the second half of that game, Belichick was working that trade.
Yeah. It might have been in that huddle. He was huddling them up. He's like, listen, we're up 24-0. The defense is doing great. That offense, not there yet, but we're literally trading for Sanu right now. Yeah, you'll see it tomorrow morning. We're doing it right now. That's unbelievable that Bill Belichick, who's the general manager, is able to handle a trade at the same damn time of the game. That's what it feels like. Unless he woke up at, 6 a.m. this morning to put the papers in and negotiate with the Falcons. I have no idea what he could have done. I have no idea when it is. He might have negotiated that before the game. Maybe it's on the field, like while they're warming up. He's like, all right, guys, let's go. So, and his phone rings. His kid answers it. Or maybe that old guy up in the booth is like, oh, yeah, you can come. We want to. Maybe it's on the headset. He's actually negotiating through the headset. Bill, can you click over to line 4 on your headset there? Yep, it's Mohamed Sanu. Oh, Mohamed, what's going on, man? Yeah, we're up 75. So I'm watching, Coach. Yeah, we just traded for you. Welcome to the team. You got it. When could he have possibly done that? Is it this morning? Gets fresh off the plane, doesn't sleep, just crush the Jets. Let's bring in another weapon so we can murder them by 90 next time. I mean, when did he do that?
Who knows? But I think it's a rare good trade for both teams. I mean, the Falcons get a second for their third receiver, and the Patriots get another weapon on offense.
Yeah, and for Sanu, he gets out of a team.
Correct. It's good for everyone.
That is a sinking ship, and they're about to implode that entire thing. It's going to be a rebuild. Going to have to get a new quarterback. Julio Jones will be there, which is great for the whatever quarterback it is, but that's going to be a whole rebuild down there. And they still, by the way, are still paying Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah. Or no, the grievance thing or whatever.
If they're going to pay me, you might as well play me.
Which he's not going to get paid in the Raiders because they pulled out the text to Al Davis or whatever. Mark Davis, sorry.
What happened?
So AB was filing a grievance to get his $30 million from the Raiders or whatever.
Yeah.
And the Raiders submitted evidence to the NFL or whoever's seeing the grievance, text to Mark Davis asking for his release.
From Antone.
Yeah.
Just texting the owner?
Yeah.
Imagine me texting Jim Irsay. What's up, boss?
He's on such another level than everybody else. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in a couple weeks that Antonio Brown actually owes them $19 million.
I don't think the tweet about Kraft, I think is going to be tough to get around.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be tough to crack there. I'm excited to see how it all works out because those contracts, I mean, the way they're – now, granted, in the new CBA going in, this is going to have to be a topic of discussion. If this guy got guaranteed contracts from all these people and he doesn't see a single dollar of it, I mean, that's an interesting situation, whether you like Antonio Brown or not. I mean, I think there's a lot more people that don't like Antonio Brown, by the way.
But you were saying the language of a lot of contracts now are to the point where if a guy misses practice, they can withhold.
Conduct detrimental to – that's what I was getting fined for tweets. Conduct detrimental to the team. I was like, huh? Our team got worse because of that joke? I don't know how that happened. I don't know how it was detrimental. I think maybe I lifted his spirits. Yeah. What about conduct?
Complimental. That's
yeah, but conduct becoming
of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about whenever I'm out doing philanthropy stuff? Yeah. Yeah, what about that?
Bonus check.
Yeah, so that language is
So that guaranteed money really means they can't cut you if you stink. They can only cut you if you do something.
No, they can cut you whenever.
Poorly.
Guaranteed money doesn't mean they can't cut you. They
But
can
you're
cut
getting
you
it
whenever.
regardless.
Yeah, you're getting the money though, even if they do cut you, just because you stink at football. So I guess you just got to completely tank like the Dolphins if you want to get the hell out of there. But then you don't know if another team's going to pick you up because then you're putting bad stuff on tape. Don't want to put bad stuff on tape. That's all anybody says. What if you want to get out, dog, and you still want to get paid? Guys, you start laying down on the field. Set go. You have done that 10 straight plays. I know. I think I lost. I don't know how to play anymore. You should cut me. And then just go to a team the next week. That'd be sweet. Jalen Ramsey's probably going to get there.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Good for Jalen, by the way.
Maybe that's the seeing ghost thing. Maybe that's why he's doing. He's like, no, I'm actually like the kid on Sixth Sense. I'm just seeing ghosts. I have a problem.
10:26. Let's get to this first break that we just completely missed. You're listening to the Pat McAfee Show. Once again, we don't know why.
Porosity.
Okay.
You know what that is? It's the ability of things to pass through your body with very little or no pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Porosity.
All right, put it right. Oh, good. The clean hand too. Good. You guys give me a boring magic act, didn't you? All right. Now, is that good and tight around your wrist?
Yep.
Has anybody ever done this to before?
No, you
in
got some
public?
clean
All right.
hands as well.
Yeah, don't I? Yes. Okay. Is that good and tight? Good.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it doesn't matter when I pull it through like that. See, there's the loop. There's your wrist. Now, did you feel that go true?
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
No.
That means you have great porosity. Also means something else. You know what that means? I cheat. It's not really a handkerchief. No. There's the ghost of the silkworm who made it. Anytime you tie it up a knot using both your hands, he comes along and unties it just like that. In fact, even if you use a square knot, right over left, left over right here, you can take a close look. Is that close enough? I just want to see his eyes go together. Okay, say it's Pat, right? Say go, Pat.
Go. Pat.
Thank you. Fine. You have to say that.
Oh,
It
no
doesn't
more
know.
knots.
In fact, the only way you can tie this up into a knot is to use just one hand. It presses the ghost, you know, and it presses the daylights out of me every time I do it. That's a real knot. No, that's a real knot.
Yeah.
Now, Pat, do you believe the ghost that lives inside here? Yes, I do. All right, great. All right. Those are too pretty. All right. Stop it. Now you passed the first part. How much time we got? Still time?
Yeah.
All right. You passed the first part of the torture trick. Here comes part number 2. From the ancient land of Nippon, now known as Japan, there are people known as Yakuza. You ever heard of the Yakuza?
Yeah, it's a
Japanese-
mafia.
Yeah. You know what they, well, it means not very nice people in Japanese. They're very liberal over there. And anytime they dishonor themselves, they put their finger in and they chop it off at the knuckles. But if they're pure of heart like you are, we'll take a chance. For you. So let me have a finger and just a clean one. There we go. Not the one you save for truck drivers. All right, now, be honest. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah. Feels good.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a little bit of a
No,
hammer.
whoops. Whoops. There's always a right way and a wrong way. All right, I'll tell you what. Hold on. All right, put your other hand palm up.
Did he just have a botch?
No, the other hand palm up. No. Just in case we have any accidents like the last time. And don't laugh. Yesterday, this was a white handkerchief. Are you attached to this?
Blood joke.
Not for much longer. You've got 1, 2.
Whoa.
It's all right. I'm a cannibal. I'm just looking for lady fingers.
I don't trust you at
That's all
all.
right. Take that trade. I want to show you something fabulous. Look at that. That solid piece of wood just went right through your finger. And if I take it off and the finger doesn't fall off, I usually get a round of applause from everybody, but you wiggle the finger. Wiggle. There
Whoa!
we go. And that's something we just don't see every day. I'll be in and out all morning doing magic for you.
Great.
Well, you're used to people coming in and doing tricks, aren't you? All right. Thank you very much. I'll be back later. Cheers. All
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. You're watching along at home. A pirate magician just came to the studio.
Oh, was he a pirate? Thought he was like
Colonial?
Ben Franklin.
Oh, I thought he was a
I
pirate.
thought he was a pirate as well.
He might be.
Well, it's a good question.
That was awesome. I'll tell you what, I thought my finger was at least going to get a pretty good bruise.
That's what I thought.
He did this wooden finger cut guillotine thing trick to me, and I was impressed, by the way. I was impressed by what he did. Interesting dude, left his horn right here on that's his horn right on Ty's desk. That's absolutely beautiful. It's 10:31. Don't look directly at it, Ty. Don't look directly at it. It is 10:31 here on this beautiful Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. And although the magic that came into our studio during the commercial break, elementary, the offense for the Patriots seems to be really starting to go. It seems to really starting to go, which is problematic for everybody. But that defense, incredible. And now that we start looking at the AFC as a whole, this is interesting now, right? Because last place is going to be who? Dolphins. First place is going to be who?
Patriots.
Patriots. Same division. Colts have a chance to make a run here, but we've already lost twice. So that is going to be problematic potentially if we slip up again, which will happen, I'd assume, by the way. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, I'm going to be on that Get Up show, and everybody's going to just be pointing and asking me to talk and blah, 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 blah. They're a young team. They're going to slip up at some point. Probably end up 12-4, 13-3 if you have to.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Incredible. I mean, now granted, the Colts won 10 straight games for like 15 straight years or something like that. So this fan base got a little bit bored with success, I think. When Andrew came, it was kind of tough to win them over. Then a lot of the fans almost dropped off the Colts whenever Luck retired, and there's an entire new fan base now. It feels like it's a newer fan base.
A better one.
Which it is. You were at the game on Sunday.
Yes.
It was loud. It was
not what I'm used to there, because, it's a notoriously quiet and calm stadium, and people were electric. I mean, they were on fire.
Which is awesome. And you said, though, the one thing that I found interesting during your text chain with us when you were at the game, shout out SeatGeek getting you good tickets. You said there's like a paralysis by fans after a big play just because there's a potential flag on the field. Is that accurate?
Every time. It was so weird to see because, we did catch a ball in the end zone, touchdown. You're used to people going crazy. Instead, everybody would stop and just look at each other like, is there going to be a flag? And then when there wasn't, they would go crazy. But there was that 10 seconds.
I think that's interesting because we used to do that for any big punt return that used to happen. You would always have to just look. You'd have to be like, can we even celebrate this? I think no. Damn, there's one on their sideline over there. Yeah, the gunner. We must have did something to the gunner. And then or they'll be like, we can actually celebrate. Yeah. And you even see all the coaches, if a big punt return's happening, you used to see them sprinting alongside. You used to see the entire sideline running alongside the guy, at least 2-3 people pumped up for him. Now literally as he's running, all anybody is doing is looking behind him, just trying to scour the field for a flag, because blocks in the back happen so often because people are running faster than they've ever ran before. Coverage is much more a technical skill, so you know what they're going to do, everything. So there's a lot more blocks. It's happening on every single play now.
Yeah.
And I do believe, though, that the NFL refs got better. Again, they still made a couple mistakes. But after that meeting, I think some things did get better. I don't have the number on the challenges or how that review went and everything like that this past weekend, but it feels like they weren't as much as a talking point outside of the Lions game. Foxy just shakes his head.
It never ends. And there's no surprise at all.
Outside of the Lions game or the Chargers game, the couple games, it felt like it wasn't as much as the refs' fault this week. It wasn't as much as them getting in the way of a good football game this week. And it was the same thing that happened last year with the helmet thing, where this first 4 weeks were so bad. Preseason was so god awful. And then they had this little competition committee meeting where the ref went in there and basically I would assume they read him the riot act. Come on, you guys can't stink this bad. Honestly, you can't stink this bad. And everything kind of comes together. Hopefully that is a trend for the rest of the year, that the refs will continue to be good, because that feeling kind of takes the excitement out of the game.
It does, yeah.
And when I was commentating one of my first games, I did a little spin zone on it, because there was a touchdown. Then they had to review it, and then everybody was quiet, didn't know what was going to happen. And then they said, "Oh, confirmed touchdown." I was like, the good thing about reviewing these touchdowns is the fans get to celebrate twice. You know? But if you celebrate twice, that means your one celebration isn't as large, probably.
Yeah.
So I hope they figure that out. I do hope they get that figured out. But the Colts, I like the way they're sitting in the AFC. I like the way, obviously, the Patriots are sitting in the AFC. I like the way the Chiefs are sitting in the AFC if they can figure it out. Texans are going to get in as a wild card, I assume, behind the Colts. Ravens are going to get in for sure, I think. And now we got one open spot.
Bills are 5-1. I don't think they're great,
Yeah.
but
They
it's
got
tough
Jets
to
and Dolphins.
recover for the other teams.
So there it
Against
is.
a 5-1 record.
So we have the Bills, we have the Texans, we have the Ravens, Patriots, Colts, Chiefs. That's the AFC. And in the NFC, you got the Packers, you got the Saints, you got the Niners, you got the Cowboys, then you have the Seahawks,
And probably the Vikings.
and probably the Vikings.
And the Rams sneaking around.
All right, so what are we doing? We're not playing the rest of the year? we just figured this out. We just figured this out. I feel like we did. I really feel like we did figure it out right there. This is going to be a hell of a playoff, by the way, with these teams that are getting in there.
That NFC one is loaded.
Bro, how about the Seahawks being a wild card? Russell Wilson in the playoffs being a wild card. That's going to be incredible. Texans, that defense, if they can get going and if they can continue to protect Deshaun Watson, that's going to be a dangerous team in the AFC.
They just traded for Garyon Conley, the Raiders' former first-round pick. Was that yesterday?
Yes.
There we go.
Bolster the secondary a bit.
So now the playoffs are going to be incredible. Let's see if we're right. The teams that are at the bottom of the pack right now are going to be tough to catch up because of the disparity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, that's the right word.
The disparity in schedules between wins and losses between the top of the class and the bottom of the class. So people are going to have to get going now. But if you're at the top, you got to be feeling pretty good if you're on both sides of the conference, both conferences right now, because things are lining up pretty well for this NFL playoff. World Series is tonight. We'll talk about that. We got a lot of things going on. Our boy Nick. Nick was doing something else. He's posting probably something. A little bit busy. He's got like 10 jobs over there. He's growing that beard back.
Just come on, give me something here. You know, there's a lot going on.
Nick, I think you're a handsome guy. That's all I'm saying. I think you're a handsome guy.
I don't. Have you seen me clean shaven? It's disgusting. Beard hides a lot.
Zito, jeez.
Oh, the face of a 14-year-old with all the pubic hair he's got growing on his beard.
Oh,
Like
Young
he's got
face.
Any comment?
Baby face.
burn.
World Series talk coming later. I think we're going to a game tomorrow. That should be pretty cool. Foxy's redemption.
Here we go.
Got a lot going on. Terrell Davis on the other side. It's 10:38, Tuesday, October 22nd. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Oh, it's gonna happen all morning, so
Pay for an hour, you get an hour.
feel my little ball. There you go. Ever feel anything that soft? You can be honest. You're among friends. Never mind. No. this is made by Master Tonson. This is a Japanese silk sponge ball.
Quickly, though.
Yes.
Are you a pirate?
I'm a magician.
No.
Would you call George Washington a pirate? You would if you was English, but I mean, no, we all dress this way.
So this is colonial?
This is colonial, yes.
Ah,
Yeah, colonial. I do this at like the Feast of the Hunter's Moon and at Mississippi 1812, and I also do it at my own show, which is called Indie Magic.
Okay.
And, so here, but you felt the ball.
Yeah,
What do
very
you feel?
soft.
Very
Yeah.
light, more than substance. sort of like politics.
Hi-yo.
This is made by Master Ton Sonata, very old magician of you. Very nice to him. Shows you how to turn 1 into 2 right before their eyes like that. And of course, the opposite true too. If you put it inside your hand, it seems to absorb itself right back up. Like he's watching me like a hawk about to devour a marmot. Now it's more fun when they come in pairs. Actually, I thought they came in apples. But that was just insider.
Oh, okay.
It usually has more appeal. But, I know. It's got me to the board.
Yeah.
Now, put your hands together like this.
Well,
This
we're
is the
doing
tax collector position. All right, very good. Okay, now, if we take this ball and we put it in this hand like this, and we take this one and go click, click, jump, jump. Did you see a jump?
Yeah.
No, you didn't, because if you did, it wouldn't have looked as good as that.
Oh.
I mean, how does that
We'll
work?
do it again for the
How did-
magically impaired. How'd I do that? Rather well. Can you keep a secret? So can I. All right, so it doesn't really go. It goes up the sleeve and comes back down the other side.
Oh, you did a little thingy there.
And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. Okay, and then you can see it in between the fingers. You didn't think it'd be this entertaining, did you? I'll tell you what, put your hand out in front of you. There we go. All right, hold on to that for just, force of habit. It's over here, may I ever say. All right, squeeze down the ball, not the finger. Ow!
Ow!
Please, I don't need to wrestle you. All right, put your other hand there. Keep it nice and tight. Can you keep it tight? Good. All right, good. Just making sure. All right, I love double entendre, but watch, the ball will not disappear. The ball just gets tinier and tinier and tinier. So tiny and go, boop. So that 1 + 1 is how many? Open up your hand. You now have 2 in your hand.
Get out of town.
And then, of course, if you put both of them inside the hand and they both vanish, they both go right back over here in the haversack. So there you go. That's just for you. All right, just make sure. Oh no, it's all gone.
What a jerk!
Pat, thank you. We'll be back for a couple more.
Thank you
There
so
go.
much. Great work there.
Nice to meet you all. IndieMagicMonthly.com. I got to put a plug.
Indie Magic Monthly?
.com. Yes.
Good plug.
Is that a magazine?
No,
Oh, that's a show.
it was originally called an Indie Monthly Magic, but they sued us. So.
Hey, Terrell, what up, man?
What's the word, man?
Hey, now I'm going to say this. I wouldn't say this to you normally because I have a lot of respect for you. But I think yesterday was on your people's problem, not ours.
What you
I think we thought you were supposed to.
Listen, hey, I was told, it was in my calendar. It said they will reach out to you at 7:40. And I sat here. I'm on time, always on time. My background proves it.
I feel bad.
Very punctual. I take pride in that.
All right, we're going to talk about that.
They were like, man, did you? And I called Teresa. I was like, hey, where's the number? I said, they didn't call me. So it's all right, man.
I'm so thankful you came on today, and I'm sorry you had to be up so early.
That's all right, man. I'm up early anyway. I got kids.
Great dad.
3 of them.
Can you turn that thing sideways?
Like this?
Yeah. But
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Boom, you look
Okay,
great.
cool.
I appreciate you doing this, man.
Anytime, brother. Love your show, man. Love your show.
TD, I'm a fool, man.
That is true. That's why it works, Pat, because you are a fool.
I think so.
Works.
I say very dumb things on a regular basis. I appreciate you, man. Hey,
No problem.
that Mile High salute back in the day. We're gonna have to talk about. We're live in 15 seconds. Hold on. Had a little fiddle there. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle and a man. Well, the guitar's hot, not on Louisiana man. What a banger this is. This had to be deep into hack music.
Oh, it was. I searched for a while. And Moonshine Rock.
I like that a lot.
Good name.
Good deep cuts down there. Last guy who could play fiddle really well, Devil.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the Devil went down to lose his soul? Nope. Fiddle of gold.
Georgia.
This next guest went to college at Georgia.
Wow.
See how I tied that together?
Incredible segue.
Huh? Tied a fiddle to our next guest, who is an absolute living legend. I'm going to run through his stats real quick. 2-time Super Bowl champ. 3-time All-Pro. AFC Player of the Year once. NFL rushing yards leader in a couple of years. 2-time rushing touchdowns leader. NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. Denver Broncos Ring of Fame. Absolute legendary human. Mile High salute. Put your hands together for Hall of Famer Terrell Davis.
You missed something there. Did you miss player of the NFL MVP? Did you miss that?
Oh, I did. Hey, that leads me to a good question, actually. You were a running back who was the MVP of the NFL. That seems like the days are way behind us of anybody other than a quarterback being an MVP. Christian McCaffrey is having a season where he seems like he has a real chance. What do you think about Christian McCaffrey? I assume you played with his dad.
Yeah, I played with his dad, Eddie McAfee, and of course, I've known Christian for a long time. He would come up there as a kid, and he was always a good athlete. And that was, I think, the genes in that family with Ed and Lisa. It just oozes out of them. So he's got that pedigree, but he's also a hard worker. He works tremendously hard. He's a funny kid. He's very humble, but I think his chances are really good if they keep winning, obviously, because that's kind of where it has to be. If you're the MVP, your team has to win. And the Panthers are on a roll right now with Kyle Allen at quarterback. So he's certainly the man that that offense runs through him. And he can do it all, man. He can block. He can obviously catch the ball in the backfield. He's really good between the tackles, screen game, draw game, you name it. So I think he certainly has a good shot, especially since Russell Wilson had the game he had yesterday or 2 days ago, where Russell was to me the clear-cut favorite. The game he had against Baltimore kind of put him back in a pack with everybody else, and I think Christian is certainly going to take advantage of that.
Do any of the younger running backs reach out to you? Is the running back fraternity a tight one, or is it kind of like kind of hit or miss?
You know what, Pat? It's kind of hit or miss, man. Here's what I get the sense, kind of being around some of these younger guys. It's few of them that would reach out because most of these guys they're so confident in their ability that they don't think they need any advice. And so it's kind of crazy. It's like they come in and they're already kind of set, and they feel like I got it. I've gotten here, and I don't necessarily need to pick your brain. And that's to me is the mentality of some of them. Now, Saquon Barkley, 2 years ago when he came in, I was really impressed with him because he came and did our show at the NFL Network, Total Access, and afterwards he pulled me aside. He said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. I just want to kind of just, pick your brain and just talk to you about the game and how you see it and stuff like that." And I'm telling you, man, he was impressive from not only the interview process and a guy who just seems like he wanted more knowledge. He wanted to be better back. So he sought the information. And it's no wonder he's out there doing what he's doing today. So there's guys like him that he feels like he can never have too much information. He can never be too sure of himself. And so that's why he's out there seeking. He sought me out. I'm sure he sought other players like Barry Sanders and Marshall Faulk. And even when he was talking to Adrian Peterson after the game they played, I think it was a year ago, or just asking him about the game and stuff like that. So he's always trying to gain more knowledge, and it's no wonder he's doing what he's doing today.
Is that the type of player you were? Were you just like a feed me information guy?
I guess what it was for me was I was too scared to ask guys. I was like, man, I wasn't nobody, dude. Like I didn't want to go up to like Emmett or talk to Barry and ask Thurman Thomas and Emmett or Jerome Bettis or Marshall. I just, I didn't feel like I was on that level at the time. So I was just a 6th-round draft pick coming in. I was just trying to focus on the things I had, right in front of me. But as time went on, as I got more comfortable, then I had conversations with those guys. But initially, no, I didn't have those conversations.
What was your main focus each week? Was it getting your body right, or was it a mental thing for you? And if you knew the game inside out in between the years, you'd be able to figure it out on Sundays.
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, it was just trying to do. I think the Patriots say it best. It's like do your job, and that's all I wanted to do, Pat. It was just I had an assignment. I knew what my job was, and I wanted to do my job the best way I could do it, and be accountable to my teammates. And that was my main focus. It wasn't about yards. It wasn't about stat lines. It really wasn't about the winning. The winning became as a result of doing the stuff that you know what I'm saying? You can't go in a game and say we're going to win this game. You got to go in a game and increase your probability of winning. And that is, the little things, man. Don't turn the ball over. They give me the ball on 3rd and 4. My job is to get 5 yards. They give me the ball on the 3rd and 6 or 1st and 10. My job is to get 4 to 5 yards. That's my job. And if it's a crucial play that needs to be had, where we got a 4-minute offense, they give me the ball. I can't fumble the ball. I got to stay in bounds. I got to do the little things so we give our team a chance to win, and that's what I focused on.
That's situational football. I mean, through and through, and that is what the Patriots dominated. I mean, they just dominate in situational football. They exposed it again last night with the delay of game into the false start into this, to just blowing a minute and a half off the clock, which Adam Gase should have wanted to happen at that time. But that game last night, I mean, it just Now, granted, Darnold's coming back off a mono. That game against the Cowboys, I think, was a bit of an anomaly. I had no idea that he was that good. I even said it on TV. I forgot that Sam Darnold had the potential to be this good. Last night, he kind of came back down to earth with them, seeing ghosts type thing. But this Patriots dynasty is something that I don't think we'll ever see again, TD. I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Well, Pat, let me say this. So when I played with the Broncos, we didn't have the 20-year dynasty, no. But a 3-year span when I played for Denver, we won more games than any team in the history of the sport until the Patriots did, I believe, last year, their 3-year run, where we won 46 games, 2 championships. And we had that Patriots mentality, right? We were them before them. Everything you see them doing, Mike Shanahan and the offense he ran, the attention to detail, the situational football, the guys who are unselfish. It wasn't about individual players, it was about the team. We had all that. And so what I'm saying is them doing exactly what we did, but they're doing it on a scale that is incredible. I mean, the turnover of players every year, the roster changes, and to have the consistent outcome every single game, at some point you think, all right, there's got to be some time. Pat, you know how it is. If you eat so much food, right, you can't stay hungry, man. It's just not possible. You cannot stay hungry, but they stay hungry, and they believe so much that I don't care what game they play, it's never good enough. Everybody says the same line. Yeah, we can get better. You just won 33-0. Yeah, there's some things we can do better.
Belichick was yelling at the defense when they were up 24-0 on the sideline. It was beautiful. It was.
I love it.
I love it. I love everything about it. Step on the throat. Let's go for it. They're going to continue to win until they don't want to win anymore.
Absolutely.
10:52. We got a couple minutes here before a hard out, but I want to ask you about the way the Rams have handled Gurley has been very interesting. They're talking about how they want to rest him, his knees. They're worried about his knees for later, but they might not be around later if they're not going to continue to win here early. And Todd Gurley's one of their best players, one of the best players in football. How have you felt about the way, not only him, but I think running backs are kind of by committee now. There isn't really many workhorse running backs anymore. Do you think that's smart for the longevity of the position, or do you think there's some players that can do a lot more, they're just not being allowed to?
Well, I think for me, I have two perspectives. If I'm a coach, a GM, or a president, and I'm trying to build a team, the 2-3 back system is kind of what I'd lean towards, and the reason is it saves you. You're hedging your bet against injuries. A guy like Todd Gurley, if he gets hurt, it kind of you take some major steps backwards. But if I had, I would. But my also thought is if I had a guy like Gurley or Saquon Barkley or Alvin Kamara, I'm certainly going to try to get that back, and I'm going to try to feature that back in my offense because those guys are exceptional. Those guys are against those are the guys you break the rule for.
Yep. And
you want to get the ball in their hands 20 times a game and allow them to lead your offense. But with Gurley's situation right now, I firmly believe that Todd Gurley is not. Is he healthy? Yeah. I played where I was semi-healthy, and that's where I think he's semi-healthy. He's not where he has that explosiveness anymore. And if he does, it's in short spurts. Like you see it in a game, and it's like, okay, where is it? And then he goes, he doesn't get the ball for 15 or so reps, and then it's like, you have games where he's getting it 4 or 5 times, then he's getting it 15 times. He's not consistent with it. I believe that he's not the Todd Gurley we saw at the middle of last year.
That is heartbreaking because he was dynamic whenever he had the ball there.
He was the MVP last year, and then all of a sudden he's got that. I think he's got the arthritic knee, and I've had that, and that thing ain't no joke. It's a silent assassin. It works on you on days where you feel good. You go out there, and then you have setbacks. After that. So Todd Gurley's not right, and the offensive line stinks right now. And the Rams, they got to figure some things out. They got a little home cooking though, even though they didn't play at home.
Hey, they did. All right, 30 seconds, very quickly. We literally have a hard out. One word answer. Why do the Denver Broncos stink?
Do they stink?
Why do they stink?
Oh, why do they stink? Oh, I can't answer that in one. That's not one word.
Big thank you to Terrell Davis. We'll be back on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Mile High salute out, cuz.
All right, brother.
What a man, dude. He's awesome. We'll be back on the other side. 10:55, Tuesday, October 22nd. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Here we go.
Okay, we're gonna do rope trick. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, good. Oh, wait,
Chase
I
Rice.
gotta give you something.
Ask, just remind
I
him.
gotta give you this. This
Remind
is
Fox.
phlogiston.
Got it.
Phlogiston's right there. It's invisible. It's warm.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
gonna burn you. Yeah. Before they knew about oxygen and combustion, people believed that heat was put out the phlogiston fluids.
Oh, Phlogisonic.
Yeah, phlogiston fluids. And so we're going to do the green, purple, and orange mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called the green, purple, and orange mystery because there is no green, purple, and orange in the green, purple, and orange mystery.
It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, we're going to need the phlogiston. Yes, it's, yeah. There we go. Let's see. What are we going to do? Oh, we'll tie the red one and the white one together this time.
Now we're talking.
There we
Do I
go.
still have to hold on to this?
Yes, you do. Yeah, because it's going to be important in just a moment. Right over left, left over right. There we go. Okay, just like the last one. Oops, here comes more.
Whoa!
There you go. All right.
I didn't know.
All right, it goes right through.
So I don't have to hold my hand.
Well, you have to hold it closed once it's in, then otherwise it'll flow right out.
Got it. That makes
Right.
sense.
If you, it doesn't
Yeah.
Actually, it makes no sense. But okay, well, there. Take a close look at that. Very good. Okay, now you have my phlogiston, right?
Yeah, right
Okay.
here.
What I want you to do is place it right there on the ropes. All three of the ropes.
Yeah.
All three of the ropes. There we go.
Yep.
All of it.
Oh, yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
it, pal.
Now I'm going to take the magic wand. I'm going to wave it over the top, wave it over the bottom, and you know what happens when you put phlogiston on three ropes like that?
No.
Hold on to that end. You end up with one.
Oh, I
Whoa.
did that.
Red, white. You did that.
Ha! Look what I
There you go.
did.
You
Look
did
at
a
me.
trick and you didn't even know it.
Yeah,
There we go.
phlogiston.
Phlogiston. It's a
Phlogiston.
real word. Yeah. Look it up. Andrew Luck probably already is.
Respect.
Yeah. So you having a good time with the magic?
Indie Magic Monthly.
IndieMagicMonthly.com. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Next Indie Magic. I'll be back for a few more.
Oh, all right, thank you
I
so
think they
much.
want me back for a few more. Otherwise, I brought the wrong clothes. There you go.
vacation, 2 hours of magic, let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Yes, it is, Chase Rice. I appreciate you. It is 11:01, October 22nd. It's a beautiful Tuesday in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm joined by at Nick Moraldo, at Tone Diggs, my brother at Jason R. McAfee, 412-787-7777, at Viva Lazito, at Evan Foxy, and at Todd McComas is on the phones, 1-833-622-3331. A pirate magician just came into the office last hour, did some incredible magic. A lot of people are wondering, where's Ty Schmidt? Ty Schmidt's currently taking a Schmidt. Poor timing for the guy. Happy he's okay. The pirate magician is taking a picture of me currently from outside the room. It's an interesting situation for sure. Speaking of interesting situations, the Patriots were so dominant last night, I thought Adam Gase might quit directly there on the sideline. Mike Greenberg, diehard Jets fan, and I think all Jets fans are wondering, is this guy going to be able to coach another year? Is this it for Adam Gase's regime in New York? Well, New Jersey, actually. Don't know why New Jersey gets no credit for either of the teams when both teams are housed in New Jersey. Almost all of the players live in New Jersey. MetLife Stadium that Zito tried to take down with the MetLife mishap
Allegedly.
is in New Jersey. So the New Jersey-based New York Jets looked terrible last night. It was heartbreaking for Jets fans, especially 1 week after beating the Dallas Cowboys, which if you watch Sunday Night Football, you would think naturally like, oh, that was a good win for our Jets team. We stunk because we had a McDonald's employee playing quarterback for us while our starting quarterback had mono. He comes back. We have a good team all of a sudden. The team we beat just absolutely, I don't know the right word. I was trying to think of something, but I don't want to see an Eagle die ever. Beat the hell out of the Eagles, you know, because I was thinking like
Correct.
Shotgun shelled or something.
Can't do it.
Can't do it to an eagle. And literally any other bird, I could have said that, but not an American bald eagle. That thing, if they're the crows, by the way, dead. Buckshot! Dave Chappelle. Shout out Dave Chappelle. They absolutely killed the Eagles. So the Jets are just thinking, oh my God, we have a team. We beat a good team. And then the Patriots just reminded everybody of the fact that you might be a good team. Hell, you're probably a terrible team, but we are just going to demoralize your team on Monday Night Football in your house. We're going to walk into Zito's MetLife Stadium in New Jersey and completely demoralize you. And boy, it was heartbreaking for an entire nation to watch the Patriots be that good on primetime television. I think the Jets had actual fans outside of New York and New Jersey. I think the Jets, who have been a team that their fan base has been loyal. Once again, we must remind people that when you're born and raised in that area, I assume family makes a big part of your decision on whether you're a Jets or Giants fan or a Mets or Yankees fan. Normally the Jets and the Mets fans kind of tag along with each other. Maybe it is the area you grow up in, but you can very easily choose the other side. And back in the day, the Yankees won like 700 pennants in a row. So if you would pick the Mets to be your team, I mean, you're asking to be with the underdog. You're asking to be with the team that isn't great. And you've kind of picked this life of misery for yourself. But the Jets fans, after that Cowboys game, had a little bit of hope. Greeny had a little glimmer in his eye. He said he would pick Sam Darnold over Dak Prescott, which at the time looked incredible. But after last night, Sam Darnold's seeing ghosts. That Jets team stinks. And it looks like that could be an entire rebuild yet again after this season.
Things get exciting here for the Patriots. So they've started with Steelers, not great. Dolphins, not great. Jets, not great. Bills.
Say that again, all the way from the top.
Steelers, Dolphins.
No, what your entire statement?
I said this next stretch.
No. What you said about the Steelers.
Not great.
Wow.
On week one, they weren't great.
Oh, for those that don't know, the guy who's speaking right now, his name is Anthony DeGilio. He is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So whenever he rattled off that little schedule thing there and went Steelers, not great, that was a big moment because the first way to cure a problem is admitting the problem. And Diggs says the Steelers are not great. I didn't say that. That's what Diggs said. Diggs, continue with your point about the schedule.
It was BD.
When I walk into this
Before
room,
Duck.
Yeah, before Duck. Also, when I walk in this
Also,
room,
AD, because he's not starting, right, this week?
Yeah, so they stink again.
Oh, let's have a moment of
he's
silence.
undefeated.
Can we please have a moment of silence for Duck Hodges' career as a starting quarterback? Duck Hodges from Sanford is a world champion duck caller. He was the 5th-string quarterback for the Steelers. He has a roommate that isn't on the Steelers, and he started on Sunday Night Football against the Chargers and got a win. He's no longer a starter. Let's have a moment of silence for his starting career in the NFL. Diggs couldn't do it. Diggs. Every time I wonder if the people at home that are listening and watching are sitting quietly as well. Like, I wonder if people who are listening in the radio are like, all right, who's going to crack? That time it was Diggs. Diggs couldn't get the quack out quick enough. All right, go through the schedule. The Patriots, though.
Steelers, Dolphins, Jets. They had the Bills, then the Redskins, Giants, and Jets. So not a lot so far. But
Okay.
coming up, Browns, Ravens.
Oh, my God. That Browns team, they haven't imploded yet. Everybody's been saying the right things. A lot of good stuff has been happening. They had a bye week. Freddie Kitchens maybe goes and reads Offensive 101 book somehow, figures out how to get his team. They did a lot of self-eval, I'd assume, during that bye week. What can we do better? What can't we do better? And then they just have to roll the ball out there against the That is so sad. I feel so bad for the dog pound. I feel bad for the Browns, too, because they probably made great strides during this bye week. Like, from a film and self-evaluation standpoint, it doesn't matter because you're playing against somebody that doesn't have to evaluate anything on the self side. They're just evaluating everybody else. That's tough for them. Browns,
Ravens, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs.
Now, the Ravens have had the Patriots number. I believe the Ravens are a team that is built to beat the Patriots. Harbaugh has had success, I believe, and I might be wrong here, but I think he has had success against the Patriots. And maybe not wins, but he's played them tight. It's been very good games. And now that the Ravens have a different style of offense, then the Patriots defense has been dominant. Let's assume that they'll be able to adjust to Lamar Jackson being the most explosive player on the field whenever he's on the field. But, man, that Ravens team might be able to knock them off, but I'm not seeing many other teams at this point that can do anything to the Patriots, because even if you stop Tom in the offense and Phil Dorsett, who runs a 4-2, and Julian Edelman, and now Mohamed Sanu, who just got traded up there, even if you stop Sony Michel, even if you stop that offense, Josh Gordon, is he playing still?
He's hurt, but yeah.
Even if you stop all of that, the other side of the ball is going to demoralize you. The defense is going to be incredible. The Patriots have just become a very complimentary team yet again. Not that they aren't every other year, but this year it seems like the defense is leading the way more so than anything, and their special teams are unbelievable. This Patriots team just looks like they are going to dominate, but the Ravens could potentially pose a problem. Marcus Peters, if he can start playing very well like he already started to with a pick 6 for the Ravens, get that defense playing well, which they needed secondary help. You have that offense that can make something out of nothing. And normally quarterbacks, whenever you're playing this league, you can't do what Lamar Jackson is doing. Usually these quarterbacks who dominate in college, I mean, Cam Newton was able to do it. Cam Newton's probably one of the only guys that were able to do it. Lamar Jackson was able to do it. I'm not sure many other quarterbacks that were dominant in the style of running and physicality and being more athletic than other people have come into the NFL and done as well as Lamar Jackson is doing. So that could be a problem for the Patriots. I guess Lamar could be a problem for anybody. But then with Tom Brady in that offense, slice and dice the defense, will you be able to keep up? Who knows? That Patriots team's scaring me for my Colts lock for the Super Bowl thing. That Patriots team is scaring me, especially after last night.
Well, and you mentioned it in the first hour. The thing that's so scary about them as opposed to like the Packers and some other teams like that is they step on people's throats. Like, they beat the hell out of teams. And the Packers, like, a lot of times they'll jump out to a big lead like that, and then they just hold on.
Prevent defense.
Exactly. The Patriots don't do that. They go out there and they put the screws to you for the entire game.
It is like an entire culture thing.
Yeah.
This is not over. This game is not over. If we win by 50, we win by 50. And I've been on the other side of that with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Where, hey, man, it's raining. The weather's bad. Can we not? You guys are using deflated balls. Is there any way we can just call this a game? Can we get a running clock on this thing? And it almost feels like the Patriots enjoy it even more when it's late. Like it's almost like they're having fun with teams whenever they're going after them late. And it's like the next day in film, I wonder if they're like, this is a lot of teams give up around here. A lot of teams stop focusing. Not us, though. We continue to just ram the ball down their throat when we're up 40. That's awesome. I had a coach that I played alongside. Well, I guess I didn't play for him, so it was kind of weird. He was an offensive coach, one of the assistants or whatever. And he would sit down next to me in Vinatieri before every game. And Vinatieri, by the way, from the Bill Belichick School of Football. I mean, that is everybody knows that. So we'd sit down next to him. How you feeling today? And his first answer was always, just trying to win by 1. And me and Vinny, like the first couple of weeks, were just trying to be nice. We're like, oh, okay, now, yeah, what else? How, your family here? Like just kind of, random, because we don't get to talk to offense coaches a lot. So then finally by week 5, after 4 very close games that we could have won by a lot, Vinatieri and I started getting a little bit upset. The guy was like, I'm like, how you doing today? He was like, just trying to win by 1. And Vinny like popped off. Wouldn't it be cooler if we won by like 30 though? And then I was like, yeah, I think we'd all agree if we just won by like maybe 21. I don't know if this is just your mindset or everybody in the offensive coordinating room, but if we would win maybe by 50, everybody in here would be happy. Just want to let you know that. He was like, oh, we're going to try. And then he got up and left, never sat down next to us again. Vinatieri ran this guy off basically. It was like with first 4 weeks, we're like trying to be nice. We're like, yeah, okay, yeah, just trying to win by 1. We get it. That's cute or whatever. And then finally, we were just like, Vinny just couldn't take it anymore. Just pokes his head up. Can we not win by 100, sir? So not every single kick I have to just sweat and white knuckle this whole thing? Is there any chance that these fans can maybe enjoy a fourth quarter instead of just pooping their pants the entire time? Is there any way we could have that? Oh, yeah, well, you'd never do that. And he just walks off. Because not a lot of people have that mindset. Mm-mm. It's tough to have that mindset, by the way, because it's easy to, once you accomplish your job, to relax. So you accomplish your job, you got the win, let's go ahead and relax and just mail it in until next week. It happens when people get rich and when they get paid. You get rich, you get paid, and then all of a sudden you just relax because you feel like the mission is accomplished. Belichick doesn't allow them to ever think the mission is accomplished until that moment on the stage where he's the happiest guy on earth. I assume that next day, the parades, the parties are incredible. And I bet you Belichick's message to the team is like, hey, this is all for that moment. This is all for Rick Ross to come fat boying through the victory party and the parades and stuff like that. And that's an incredible mindset if you can get everybody on the same page. And that's why they've been so dominant, let alone how incredibly smart they all are. It feels like it's going to be another Groundhog Day, and they're going to be tough. But I like the Colts a lot in the AFC. I like the Colts a lot because this is the first time it's been a team that I literally think can go against the Patriots and perform well, can run the ball. Usually whenever we played against the Patriots in the past, we're never able to run the ball. So what happens? If we get a 3-and-out or don't score or score a field goal, we have to give the ball back to Tom Brady, and he just goes and scores a touchdown. Now that you can run the ball, you can keep them off the field, just like we did to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And then that defense that's for the Colts is young, hungry, and very talented. And one of the most talented players in the NFL will be joining us on the other side here. Darius Leonard, the maniac, joining us from the Indianapolis Colts. After that, we'll take some calls, 1-833-622-3331. Todd McComas is on the phone. We got a heck of a 45 minutes here left on this Tuesday, October 22nd. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Hey, welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Oh, no, the bad little riff there on the guitar. The guitar. We are live in Indianapolis, Indiana, talking about all things sports. World Series is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Schmidt. If I was to gamble on FanDuel online in the state of Indiana, which I can do starting today, thank God, who should I gamble on?
I don't. In terms of a play for the game, I'm not sure. But what I really like is Garrett Cole over 9.5 strikeouts. He's been just on an absolute tear this year.
And what type of pitcher is Garrett Cole? Why should I be
power pitcher? Throws harder than hell. Has a really good breaking ball. When his stuff is on, he's close to unhittable.
So the hammer is Garrett Cole prop bet over 9.5 strikeouts.
Yes. I also like Max Scherzer over 6.5 strikeouts.
So it's going to be a low-scoring
I
ball.
think so. I think we're going to get a pitcher's duel. Maybe someone will eke out a solo shot. That might be what does it.
Okay. Are these locks?
Yeah. I'm placing both of these bets today on FanDuel.
And anybody listening should respect your baseball knowledge because...
I watch a lot of baseball.
Too much, you'd say.
Yeah, probably.
Why?
I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's therapeutic. It's relaxing for me. Big baseball guy.
Played it too.
That too.
Hammer. Garrett Cole over 9.5.
Strikeouts. And
hammer.
Max Scherzer over 6.5 strikeouts.
Bang, bang. This hammer is undefeated right now. This hammer is undefeated. And my belief, in your belief, in Garrett Cole and Max Scherzer just made me hammer this thing. So I'm excited to see how it all plays out. FanDuel, you can gamble online in Indiana, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, I believe. West Virginia, I think it's also live.
Yep.
I can't wait to put that bet in. I just made money, free money because of Ty Schmidt.
There we go.
All right, and the World Series will be a low-scoring affair. It'll be down in Houston. And the Yankees are my team because we got a chance to go watch them play 2 weeks ago. I've been a fan for 3 weeks. But if I was to change to be a fan of the team that's probably going to win, who would you pick?
It's tough to pick against the Astros, but we have been talking about the Nationals being kind of a team of destiny.
Because they got rid of Bryce Harper.
That and they haven't – no one's expected them to win every step of the way here, and they just keep doing it, and they've done it in comeback fashion in a couple really key moments. But the Astros are just – they're very, very, very good.
Okay, so I watch the change-up every night on the DAZN app
Yep.
with Adnan Verk and the boys and the lady. The show has taught me everything I need to know about baseball. But let's say you're somebody listening to this show who knows nothing about a baseball. What are some storylines for this Houston Astros and this Washington Nationals team?
For the Astros, they have the guy who Mattress Mac who put down all the money before the playoffs started on the Astros to win because he's giving away free mattresses if they do. Outside of that, Jose Altuve, the really short guy, very, very good, and they always like to do the double shot of like grabbing someone who's like 6'5" and putting it next to him, and everyone goes crazy for that. Verlander. I mean, the pitching is really what you're looking at here. The two top line pitchers for each teams that are going to square off in the first two games. You don't really get that in the playoffs as much anymore.
And you're saying right now the fans are in for a treat for this World Series. This is going to be good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Expect some drama, expect some action, and expect quite a few pitchers' duels.
Every pitch counts. Every pitch matters. Hey, Garrett Cole, the Washington Nationals are saying, you hang them, we bang them. Ain't that right?
They are saying that, yeah.
All right, let's pivot. So who's going to win, the Astros?
Yeah, I think so. I like Astros in 6.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Astros. Everybody knows that. Been a long time.
You have.
Almost my entire baseball fanhood. I've been a fan of the Astros. Good for them. I'm also a big-time fan of the Indianapolis Colts. I've said that the Indianapolis Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. I said that because the team that Chris Ballard has built around the quarterback position is very good this year. So when Andrew Luck retired, everybody's hearts were broken in Colts Nation. They're like, no, we finally got a good team. We finally have a team that can win things. Jacoby Brissett has stepped up and balled out. And a key member of the defensive side of the Indianapolis Colts, a man who was the Rookie of the Year last year, a man who was an All-Pro but somehow didn't get voted in the Pro Bowl, a Q-Dog from South Carolina State, number 53, the Maniac, Darius Leonard joins us right now. Oh, look at the shirt! Look at the shirt! He's wearing a For the Brand shirt. I appreciate him. You just got out of meetings. How does the team feel after that massive victory against the Houston Texans in the AFC South?
Definitely feels good, man. Definitely to get a win, especially a divisional game win. So we all feeling great, man. Looking forward to the next opponent now.
You look like a real athlete on that pick to call game there at the end. That thing kind of just showed up in your hands, and then you wanted to go run with that thing. I mean, you go down immediately. The game's over. Everybody knows that. I'm assuming people are yelling at you to go down. Before you go down, though, you do a Roman Reigns fist. Kenny Stills through the earth. Walk me through that last play.
Oh, man, Coach dialed up a great defensive play, and I saw the ball as soon as it was tipped. I know I was in a great position to make a play on it once I felt like I had possession of it, and we always talking about score on defense. And I got up, and I know I had one man to beat, and I know I got long arms, so I went with a stiff arm. And after I got done with the stiff arm, man, I looked by the sideline. I see the whole sideline jumping up saying, "Get down." So I said, "All right, it's over with. I got down."
It was great to have you back in the lineup. You missed a couple weeks with concussion injury. Now you're back. The team did well whenever you weren't in. So everybody knew that when you got back in, the team was only going to get better. What did you learn from having to watch the Colts at home?
How great our team is. We always talk about the next man up mentality. We're very focused on the game plan, and it shows no matter who's in the game or who's out the game, the next guy ain't gonna come up and do their 111 just to hold down the team, because you don't want anybody to fail. So when they get in there, everybody's trustworthy, and that's what it shows that what kind of team we have.
Why is Frank Reich such a good head coach? Nobody knew. He had never been a head coach before, right? So we had no idea what was going to happen. I think now the Philadelphia Eagles fans are realizing how important Frank Reich was to that organization. And now Colts fans are like, thank God this guy is back. He was once going to be a priest or something. I mean, he has an incredible story. He seems to be an incredible leader of men. What makes him a good coach, though? What makes him relate to guys like you, guys like Quentin Nelson? Like, what makes Frank Reich such a good head coach?
For one, he's a former player, so he knows how the game goes. And for two, man, he cares. That's the biggest thing. He cares about his players. And to see how much he goes for it on fourth down, to show how much he believes in the locker room, believes in his players. So if you got a coach who trusts in you, believes in you, it's making it so much easier to go out and have fun and play for that coach.
So is that how you guys react whenever you see him go for it on fourth?
We love it, man. We love it when he go for it. I mean, it shows that he believes in us, and if he believes in us, that means we can go out and execute the game plan with no worries. Because if you got a coach that's saying, okay, I believe in this guy, and go out and make a play, you don't have to be scared or timid to go out there and say, okay, I can't mess up. He's a coach that's, for one, he says when he mess up, he's not afraid to say, hey, that was a bad call. I did this wrong. And having a guy like that as the head man, it's always great.
That's so interesting because the defense could be on the wrong side of that if you don't pick up the fourth down conversion. But instead, on the flip side, you see a head coach that's willing to go for it and bet on his guys. That has to lift up everybody.
Oh, yeah, man. Even though if we don't get it, the defense is pumped. We want it in our hands. We want the offense to go for it. We want the defense to come out. We want to stop them if it's at midfield or whatever. We always talk about sudden change. If the ball on the 3-yard line, we're going to get 3 and out, take away, make them kick a field goal, and we're going to block the field goal. That's the mentality that we have as a defense.
So it feels as if that building is an incredible place to work, a good work environment. What are practices like now? All I see is videos of you dancing from practice. All I see is videos of T.Y. Hilton having a good time. I feel like the Colts are a very fun place to be right now.
It is, man. But like I said, it starts at the head man. When the head man can allow us to be ourselves, you don't have to be in a shell. That's what it is. Everybody's comfortable, going out, doing that job and having fun. And, the biggest thing about playing the game, you got to have fun with it. And our coach have fun with it. And every single player goes out each and every day and have fun. And ever since Coach Frank got the Got Juice shirts last year, everybody wanted to bring the juice. Everybody wanted to bring the energy. And me being a guy who loves to have fun, love bringing the energy, I just love being with the coach.
Well, I mean, you're a leader on the team and only your second year. That is very difficult to do, especially at a linebacker position where you're banging a lot. You're making a lot of plays. You have been an instant impact maker for a Colts team that everybody is sleeping on. Everybody's sleeping on them. When I go on television and I start yelling into cameras about me being, I'm picking the Colts, it feels like everybody is like waiting for me to say I'm joking. It's a real, inside that locker room, how good does it feel to know that not a single soul outside of Indianapolis has any belief or faith in the Indianapolis Colts?
Oh, we love it, man. You know, we love being an underdog because that make us just fight day in and day out. I mean, we love being an underdog. We go in, like that Kansas City game we saw where nobody picked us to win. I mean, we love that. We love coming in as an underdog. We love stepping up to a challenge, and it proves week in, week out.
You're a big-time WWE fan. I didn't know that till recently. Did you enjoy?
Oh, yeah.
Did you enjoy Friday Night SmackDown? Did they take care of you?
Oh yeah, they did, man. I was kind of upset when they tried to jump my dog Roman, so I almost jumped over there and tried to help him out. So I had to control myself a little bit.
How long you been a WWE fan?
All my life, man.
It's
me and my brother always grew up just watching it. They Monday, Tuesday, even when ECW was on Wednesdays, Friday Night SmackDown. So kind of grew up my whole life watching it.
You know what's interesting is football. I think there's a lot more football players that are fans than people really think about it because you're a gladiator out there performing on a stage. And I enjoy the way you play. I enjoy your celebrations. You think some of that comes from your WWE fanhood background?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, especially when I grew up watching DX, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they always celebrated, you know. So it's always fun to kind of have a signature move like they do. So it's definitely going out, having fun, and then doing crazy stuff. I mean, I see it all the time on TV, so, I mean, I enjoy doing it.
I'll tell you what, you're going to get quite a fine, but if you drop a suck it on somebody. I appreciate you taking time out of your workday, man. Keep dominating, keep crushing. You're fun to watch. Welcome back. Happy you're healthy. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Leonard. Thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Cheers, dude. He's a player.
Yeah.
Hey, he is a player.
He's
dude.
long.
That stiff arm, old buddy tried to touch. He literally was just throwing another human down to the ground. That was an insane situation.
And he was towering over Roman Reigns in that picture they took together.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a freak athlete, too. And the fact he was a fourth-round draft pick and everybody said that Chris Ballard was a dum-dum. Chris Ballard was a dum-dum. Took an offensive guard at number 6. Stupid. Took this no-name linebacker from South Carolina State in the 4th round. Stupid. They gave him like a D or something. Some scouting or grading people gave him like a D or whatever on the draft. 2 All-Pros. 2 All-Pros right there automatically as rookies. What's up, Diggs?
2nd-round draft pick.
Darius Leonard was?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I was completely wrong there. I had no idea.
That's why they were so. That's why they were so not mad, but like that's why they graded it like that because he was a guy who went higher.
Oh, he was. He was a 36th pick. Of course, I know this team. No, but that might be one. That's tough.
He's
That's
got
a tough look for
chip
me.
on his shoulder like a 4th-round pick.
But it is really 4th-round pick is still a good spot to be in. But the thought that Chris Ballard got demolished for this. I would like to hear Chris Ballard break down like the scouting thing of this. I mean, we're looking at his stiff arm right here on the picture. It is a right cross to this dude's head, which I would assume is a penalty. I would assume that he probably should have got flagged for that because poor guy is sideways. I mean, that's one of the most vicious stiff arms I've seen. They said Quentin Nelson as a fullback is going to happen a little bit more often. By the way, the only thing that's tough, because when you see Quentin Nelson run down the field, I literally had this thought like a week or two ago. I'm like, man, that guy can move. That guy can really move. Normally, big guys like that can't move. The last time you really see big guy move like that was almost the Fridge, right? Way back in the day with the Bears. The Fridge who could move. And I literally had the thought where I was like, man, I wish he almost played D-line because I think you could put him in on offense. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later here, we got him running fullback. The only problem with that is you take the best offensive lineman potentially in the game off of the offensive line in a goal line situation. As a coach, you're going to look bad if that doesn't work out. It's like, oh, you want to get cute, take the offensive line off the offensive line. But if Quentin Nelson scores a touchdown, that ball might explode. That ball might explode if he catches. Now, granted, He was the other route in that Ebron catch was Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson almost got open, had a guy covering him. He stumbled because he turned to look where the ball was going, probably because he wanted to chase it because that's what he does every time. But at some point, Quentin Nelson's going to score a touchdown, and that ball's going to get popped. And I cannot wait for that. He might tear the thing in half like it's a damn phone book. Outside of Indianapolis. And I said to Darius Leonard, I meant it because, and it might not be humans outside who have high football IQs or whatever, but in those production meetings with people around those big media outlets, whenever you talk about the Colts like doing it, everybody's like, okay, let's slow down. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It's like, no, that's what we're supposed to do on television. That's what you guys do every single day. And I want to let you know, I might be ahead of you guys. I'm not getting ahead of myself. This Colts team is the truth, and that guy is one of the main reasons why.
And when you listen to these other shows, like all these other talking heads, when the Colts come up, they're like, yeah, they're a nice story, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to win.
And then they just move forward.
Yes, correct.
And then they just move forward. The entire story was Deshaun Watson losing that game. And not the Colts defense winning that game or the Colts offense winning that game. And for us, it's good for business because whenever they're in the Super Bowl and they're late in the playoffs, first year doing this with a national show, look like geniuses. Look like geniuses. By the way, starting at noon, if you're in Indiana, we're going to have 25-1 odds on FanDuel.com/McAfee for the Colts just to make the playoffs. You won't find those odds anywhere else. FanDuel.com/McAfee. If you're in Indiana and you have the FanDuel app, which you should be getting at FanDuel.com/McAfee, we will have 25-1 odds. Must be your first bet placed under that link in that app. But once you get that, now we're off to Green Dot City, baby. Let's have a good day. Congratulations to FanDuel going online here in Indiana. Congratulations to all of us being able to gamble legally without having to get checks from
Uzbekistan.
I'm sure Uzbekistan's a good country, but it's nice to know where your money's coming from your friends at FanDuel. 11:35, we'll be back with some phone calls from Peyton, Brian, Aiden, another Brian. Todd, did you ask him if it's with an I or a Y?
I did.
So we got both options here.
Yeah.
We got Rodri. Sounds like a fake name from the UK. Can't wait to talk to him. And Jake. Let's have a Tuesday. You're listening to the Pat McAfee Show. Hey, Don. Hey, Don. Since I can't ask you, like, without being on air, how much time do we have until we're back? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, each week we tour the country, basically, talking into microphones, and Foxy documents it all. This week's film from him was magical. San Fran, New York, Indianapolis, Mimes, Jeremy Piven, you name it. Evan Foxy captured it all. YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Here's a sneak peek. We're giving away a trip to Disney World. Watch the vlog, find out how. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. Did a poll before we went live. Hashtag poll the people. Hashtag Pat McAfee Show live. Who has had a better career at their position? Mitchell Trubisky or Cody Parkey? One of them is still beloved in Chicago. The other got ran out of town. And whopping 15,000 votes in 1 hour were casted. Cody Parkey had a better career at their position, said 66% of the people, 34% to Mitchell Trubisky. Tough for Mitchell, from bad to worse for Mitchell Trubisky. Things are not looking great for him. Do I feel bad for Mitchell Trubisky? I do. It feels like he lost his confidence completely. It feels like he cannot complete a pass that most humans that are just walking around on the street can complete. It feels like it's a little paralysis by analysis. Will he ever be able to bounce back? I hope so. Sometimes golfers get out of the yips. Sometimes people can get out of bad things. But it feels like Mitchell Trubisky is in the middle of one of those right now. We're going to find out if Matt Nagy can get him out of it. Because if not, what are you doing? You're wasting a defense that at the beginning of the year was being talked about as being the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens. But instead, they've had the soul sucked out of them. They look like they don't even give a damn anymore because if the offense gets the ball, they ain't going to do diddly squat with it. NBA starts tonight. Klay Thompson, I guess, has been ruled out for the year due to an ACL recovery for the Golden State Warriors. They just paid him in July $190-some million. I assume they expected this was going to happen whenever they did that, or this just came out of nowhere. I'm not sure. Golden State has to face off against a very difficult West this year. Not only are the Clippers and Lakers revamped, but they seem to be on a wrecking course for each other. That's what I heard on television, by the way. That's what I heard on television. Popovich still coaching in San Antonio, so who knows what's going to happen there. Lakers, AD, and LeBron. I don't know how people are going to top that. Clippers, I was wearing his shoes the other day. Paul George, absolute animal. And that guy who had Canada on his back and led them to a title.
Kawhi Leonard.
He's unstoppable as well. And in the East, the Indiana Pacers. I don't really know much about these, right?
I mean,
the
Sixers and Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks. And
that's the Greek Freak. I like his shoes as well. He's got very good shoes. They're very comfortable and well designed. The Greek Freak, by the way. The Bucks, that's his team.
Yep.
And the Sixers, Ben Simmons has a jumper now all of a sudden. I guess he can really play basketball. We got a sales guy named Lou who's losing his mind saying the Sixers are going to win it all, hammer everything he's got. He took out 2 mortgages on the Sixers already because he saw 1 3-point shot from Simmons, who I guess is an NBA player who forgot how to shoot a basketball. Wild scene. It's almost like what happened to Mitchell Trubisky.
Come on.
Let's go
That's
to the
true.
phones. Here's Rodri in Wales, the UK. Rodri, what's going on, bub?
How you doing, Pat? How's it going?
Things are good, Rodri. How are you?
First off, I just like to say, guys, I started listening to the show this summer, and I suffer with Crohn's disease. I think David Gerrard and Rob Benerska used to have it, the old San Diego Charger kicker, and I left me pretty much unable to walk. I was just looking for forms of information on NFL. I bumped into you guys, and I'd never laughed so much at the show. So it's just great every day, so inspiring, and really, really picked me up, guys, when I needed it. And just a great show you got going on there. And amazing what you're doing for the people. So first off, just want to say that.
Rodri, thank you so much. Hey, Rodri, we are lucky to have you, pal. I'm sorry about the Crohn's disease. That doesn't sound like a fun thing at all. If we can bring a little bit of happiness and some insight to your life, we're very lucky to do that, especially international. We appreciate you, brother.
I see what you're doing, man. It's great. Just a question. You had a great conversation with Johnny Eke yesterday. I know you've been over to the UK and played games in London. I know we're in between playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Wembley now this week. I remember Dan Rooney, the great Pittsburgh Steelers owner, ambassador to Ireland. I thought the world of Dan Rooney. He got up on stage in London once and said that they would definitely be an NFL franchise. Yeah, looking at it from a business point of view, Pat. I know nostalgia and things like that. It's a big topic in America. Not everybody likes it. I know. I mean, I've travelled. I've been to the old RCA Dome. I really feel for American sports myself. But I'm just wondering if you think it's actually going to happen. That London will have a franchise one day.
Just real quick, just because of my pure ignorance, where the hell is Wales? Are you in England or is it outside? Where is Wales?
It's just west of England. So it's like we just over the water from Ireland. So look at Ireland and we just over the water. We're a rugby nation. We're in the semi-finals of the Rugby World Cup this weekend.
Hey, let's go and get it, Wales. That's our rugby team now. I just claimed that for our entire squad here. Let's go, Wales rugby squad. For me, Rodri, thank you so much for the call, by the way. We appreciate the hell out of you, Rodri. That guy sounds like a delightful man. Mm-hmm. If we ever travel over to England, I'm stopping by Rodri's house. I'm walking right over there from England. Is that what he said? He walked from England or wore from England?
I think there's a canal.
I don't know. That accent is incredible, by the way. I wish I had something like that. I like Rodri a lot. I've talked about this. I don't think the logistics of it would work with an NFL team being based in England. Now, granted, my pitch of having 17-game season with every team having at least one neutral site game would help for games in Europe. I think there would be more games in Europe, expand maybe into Germany, which is having a blossoming fan base over there, maybe games a little bit around the globe, a little bit more. But I don't think a team based out of England is going to happen for some time. I just think logistical-wise, it's tough because on NFL teams, whenever you think about it, you think of the top 10 players in your mind. Like, okay, who plays for that team? Well, Tom Brady plays, Julian Edelman. You probably only name 10, 15 players on that team. There's 53 of them. When those guys get hurt, you got to work them out. You got to travel them in. You got to scout. So they would have to have a home facility in like Florida or somewhere. They would have to have a home facility, and then those people would have to fly to England and fly back. It would just be a very interesting thing, a logistical nightmare. You would need a lot of help from the other teams to want to make it work because it's probably going to be a massive financial investment. I think it would be cool if there was a team over there, but in my eyes, logistically, I just don't see how it works. Now, I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. The NFL might be able to pull it out somehow, but in my eyes, logistical-wise, I don't think there'll ever be a team based there, but I do see there could potentially be more games played over there because the fans are electric. They just show up with American sports jerseys on. They don't care if it's football. I saw somebody in a Kobe Bryant jersey. I saw some people in baseball jerseys, and that crowd is magnificent over there. People get a chance of America. If they're based in Europe, they get a chance to experience America again, just a little taste. And if they're European fans, they get to see something they've only seen on TV in real life. I think it's a win-win, but I only think more games are going over. They're not a team. Personally,
and at least every single away game, at least being 6 hours of travel or 6 hour time difference, is tough. It would be very, very tough.
They would have to do half the season. Whenever we were in England, I tried to figure it out. I was like, okay, because I kind of liked it over there. The people were very nice. The people all had personalities. They took care of us well. The stadium was awesome. I was on 13 edibles or whatever. I was trying to figure it out. They would have to do half the season over there and then half the season in America. So they would have to be based in America somewhere. They would just do their schedule here, and then it would be away games basically, which would stink if you have 8 straight away games, which That's going to stink. It's going to stink for somebody, but I mean, it's just going to happen. Let alone the taxes and all the business side that you have to get into it. I'm just not sure. I think I landed on the conclusion that there would be no real way to actually do it, because if they did it like it was every other game, I mean, now all of a sudden you're like the Hawaiian college team.
Yeah.
But those teams do like 3-4 trips to 3-4 games in a row, and then they fly back to the island, which is an incredible travel. And if I could live in Hawaii, I would. But I don't think I would put a football team there, because I think it's a lot of moving parts that you have to get over there. And technology works sometimes. We're on an airplane. It's still just a little bit of a tough situation in my eyes. But Rodri and the people like Rodri over there deserve more football. So I think there'll be more games going over there. I'm just not sure about a team. Personally. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
We don't know. Honestly, we don't know, because they could just put a team over there and just tell players, "Yeah, you got to deal with it. You're going to be the London Warriors."
Well, then that's the difference. Do you think it would be a team already here that they make move over there, or would they create a new expansion team over there?
Well, then if you create an expansion team, do you have enough players? Because you got to have a quarterback. And if the product stinks over there, if it's a bad football team, you're probably going to lose more fans in Europe than gain more fans in Europe. I mean, it's just an interesting. I don't know.
More money in expansion, though. That's always the bottom line.
Thought I had a good idea.
Yeah, the NHL expands teams all the time, and all they do is just dive deeper into the red.
In the red? Talking about Golden Knights killing it.
Okay, that's one.
Best team in hockey.
That's one. I'm talking about the league as in a whole.
The league's fine. It's profitable.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You think the league operates in a whole? The National Hockey League?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What if you put a
Is that
stadium?
not accurate?
No.
I mean, I see some of those games every once in a while. I'll flip
What are
through
you
like
talking
Fox
about?
Sports.
It's very poorly run, but they make money.
It is very poorly run. Let the guys play in the Olympics. Represent their country.
Let them play.
Again, more money.
Yeah, but it's more exposure for the league with the players if they're representing for it.
That's what I'm saying. All these decisions, they're short-sighted because they're all based on money.
The bigger anything gets, the bigger everything gets. And the NHL just doesn't realize that.
Stick with me here.
Yep.
What if we have Elon build a train from England to New York, and in the middle is a stadium in the middle of the Atlantic?
We should put it on the trash island too, on the west side, in the Pacific, the one with no salt.
Yes, no salt.
Something to think about.
That's the same reason the NFL wants to be in London, though. The bigger anything gets, the bigger everything gets.
They have salt though.
Let's go to Brian in Monroe. Brian, Monroe.
Hello.
Brian with an I. What's up, bub?
What's up, Pat? So,
What's up,
Jets
dude?
this year, starting off 1-5, very, but do you know who made the playoffs last year that also started 1-5? D&D.
Yeah, we had Andrew Luck and a good team.
Jets stink.
Jets stink. All right, Brian, I mean, I appreciate you waiting, and I appreciate you getting in there, but, I mean, that's just Brian in New Jersey with a Y.
All right, so the New Orleans Saints, we have a quarterback controversy, or at least I want to start one now. So you got Teddy Bridgewater, who's been doing good. He's still undefeated, but now you got a possibility of Drew Brees coming back. So do you hold off on Brees coming back for another few weeks after the bye, or do you just say screw it and go right with him?
Brian's in New Jersey are the best. The absolute best. I think Teddy Bridgewater has raised his stock around the NFL. Not that his stock was ever low, by the way. I mean, I guess it was at one point. The Jets paid him $500,000 in guaranteed, and every NFL player laughed at that because he was once an MVP candidate. Then he gets hurt. Then he kind of bounces around, finds a home in New Orleans. He's the highest paid backup quarterback out there. Somebody tried to bring him in to be a starter. He said, no, I'll stay in New Orleans. It's paying off for him. I don't know if that temptation will remain too big or ever get too big for him to go elsewhere, but I think Teddy Bridgewater likes being with the Saints.
I think you do, because Breeze talked about coming back this week against the Cardinals, and then they have a bye. You don't need him against the Cardinals.
Hey, Drew, just wait a couple weeks, pal.
Let's not get greedy here.
Now, granted, that Cardinals team, don't let them get hot.
That's right.
Don't let them get hot. Shout out to AQ Shipley, the center for the Arizona Cardinals, on today's podcast. Worth a listen. Gives us a tour of his house. And even though it's an audio thing, I mean, it sounds pretty good. Jasper in Greensboro, what's up, bub?
Pat, it's an absolute honor to talk to you, brother.
Honor's mine.
And I'm going to make a bold claim right now. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm saying, as of today, the New England Patriots are going undefeated because of that defense and because they play absolutely nobody going forward. And I'm saying they win the Super Bowl and Tom Brady leaves town. His trainer's leaving town. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, Jasper taking a stand. I can respect it. Jake in Crawfordsville.
Pat, I think you're exactly right. The Colts
I like that.
are winning the Super Bowl this year. They got great electric players. You got Quentin Nelson is a beast. Marlon Mack running behind him. You got Darius Leonard, the maniac. Jacoby's playing awesome. Frank Wright is making the right play calls. His team believes in him. But the most impactful part of this team is Chris Ballard. It is the culture that he has put in the team, the draft picks that he's making. He's changed the entire outlook of the Colts. The Colts are winning the Super Bowl. You're exactly right. Everybody's sleeping on the Colts, and they're a bunch of asshats.
Are we allowed to say asshat?
I think so.
I like that a lot. Shout out to Jake. Here's Peyton in Pittsburgh. This should be good. Peyton, what's up?
All right, so I have almost the exact same thing with the guy last time. The Colts remind me of a B-2 bomber. They're going to be the stealth killer. No one's going to see them coming. They won't hear the bombs drop because the Patriots are going to be winning loudly. Looking at the future schedule of the Colts, my biggest concern is the New Orleans Saints, but Frank Reich will most likely compose the greatest stratagem to thoroughly collapse and massacre that team. With that, great player Quentin Nelson.
Didn't have a wrap up. Didn't have a close there for Peyton. I like the voice of the country there, though. We got so many different takes there. Patriots are undefeated. The Jets are going to go to the playoffs. Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. We need to do that more often. A little voice of the nation, voice of the people. We can't thank you enough for listening. I think the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. After talking to Darius Leonard today, even more so. That's a confident team. But boy, is the NFL about to heat up. We already picked the playoffs. People are saying the Carolina Panthers might sneak in. Accurate if Kyle Allen and Christian McCaffrey stay hot. Who knows? 11:55. Tomorrow we'll be in Houston, Texas. We can't wait for that. You're the absolute best for listening and watching. This has been the Pat McAfee Show. 25-1 odds. FanDuel.com/McAfee. Colts make the playoffs.